Hello, this is Jacob Wilson. I've been playing some Standard in preparation for the Players Tour Final, and M21 also came out. So new formats are always a bit more interesting than stale ones. I played a match of Bant ramp against mono green splash blue ramp, and I thought it was an interesting game, so I thought that I'd watch the replay. So I'm going second. They kept their 7 cards, and my hand is pretty ideal. I would definitely trade one of these cards for a third land, other than the Jolrael, but Jolrael, 2 mana cycler, and some of the best cards printed this year, and some of the best cards in every constructed format are in my hand. So I am going to keep. We both have pretty simple beginnings. They have a Paradise Druid to start. And obviously I'm going to play my Jolrael. If you've never watched replays on Magic Online before, it's in your game history tab, and I would really recommend it. So they're kind of a mix between aggro and ramp. They just played a Stonecoil Serpent 4/4, which obviously has protection from a lot of the cards in my deck, like Uro, Teferi, and Elspeth Conquers Death. But I think this turn it would be a mistake to cast Wilt. I want to use all of my mana. So I think basically I can go develop my own mana or try to stymie their mana. I think that they're both plays that are good, and either one could have reasons to go for it. I go for Teferi because I really don't want them to play a Nissa this turn. And obviously I'm going to be amassing 2/2 cats, which is pretty nice. They play this card Migratory Greathorn, which is not a card that sees a lot of constructed play. But Mutate is a very confusing mechanic. The main takeaway here is that I can no longer wilt this card, but I can use Elspeth Conquers Death on it. So it's going to have all the types of the card that's on top. So it's going to be a 4 convert mana cost, 7/8 with protection from multicolored. So that is going to end up dealing me a lot of damage. So on my turn, I have a lot of options, a lot of good options. But like I just said, I can no longer cast Wilt, so I'm going to need to just get my mana going this turn. I gain a little bit more life, get another token, which is all nice. My Teferi is still not doing anything for a while. They cast a Nissa, which they did have, so it's good that I stymied their development and set them back 1 turn, but it is still putting me in a bad position. I'm at 12 life, and they have 2 cards that I pretty much have to answer. I'm going to have to choose whether I answer the Nissa or the Greathorn. they're going after me because the Teferi isn't doing anything for a few turns. Before you make your decisions, obviously you should get all the information you can first. So I go with the Growth Spiral. And honestly, I don't know if they should have even attacked with the land. It's a pretty bad trade to trade a 3/3 land for a token. On my turn, I have the option to ECD either the 7/8 or the Nissa. And Nissa is a card you never want to let your opponent untap with, but had I killed the Nissa, they would have a 7/8 trample, and I'm at 5 life. So I'd have to block with both of my creatures. That really is not appealing to me. I can answer the 3/3s pretty well with my tokens, so it's more the passive ability of Nissa that's threatening to me rather than the tokens, and I can always just hope that they don't have anything good in their hand. We'll see about that. They play Ugin, which is obviously a problem. Then they kill Teferi. So I play Teferi. Teferi is a very nice answer to lands from Nissa. Basically kills them and draws a card for free. And I'm continuing to amass tokens, which is nice. But at the end of the day, I think my whole board is going to get swept by this Ugin. And I'm at 8 life. So they go ahead and float some mana, -5, which kills their Nissa, which was soon to ultimate, but they also got to kill my ECD, which was soon to reach its final saga and return, either a Teferi or an Uro to play. So they play their final Nissa. And now I'm at 2 life, facing down 3 lethal threats. That in creatures, Nissa as a 4th threat, and Ugin. So I'm facing down 5 lethal threats going into the turn. But I have a lot of good things going for me. I have 9 mana, and a lot of the best cards printed in recent memory. So I'm going to start out with Uro. When you can cast Uro, it's normally one of the best things that can be done. So I go for Uro. I scry Shadow the Sky to the top, which is pretty nice. And then I play Tolsimir to gain some life and kill a colorless land. You might have been thinking that Teferi or Krasis would be good plays, and they are both very good cards. But a key thing here is Ugin is on 4 loyalty, so it's probably going to minus. If I were to play one of these cheap cards, they would just -3, kill my whole board, and then kill me with the colorless lands. The lands don't have any color, so these 2 planeswalkers work really well together. So it's pretty crucial that I take one of their threats off the table, and I play my own card with the CMC greater than 3. So they're going to plus kill my Tolsimir, and no attacks. I think maybe they should have minused and killed the Uro, but it makes sense to want to keep your loyalties high when you're unsure. I go for an attack. Obviously I want to attack Ugin because it's at 6 loyalty. If I were to attack Nissa, they could just take the damage. And here I decide to Teferi bounce my own Uro. A lot of times you want to shatter your Uro directly into the graveyard so that you can escape it right away. But as you can see, I only have 2 cards in my graveyard, so I think it's better to bounce the Uro first. And I may as well use all my mana while I can and get all of my tap lands into play. Okay, so they're probably going to deal me 6 damage. Oh, but they drew their 3rd Nissa. And now they're putting me down to 3 with 4 lethal threats again. So this is quite a scary situation. And it's a tough situation. I only have 5 cards in my graveyard, so I could not escape Uro right away. So I played a Krasis for 6, leaving myself 5 mana. It was a very good sequence of draws because I drew an untapped land in Aether Gust. So I was able to Aether Gust the Nissa, play my 6th land, and escape the Uro exactly. Gust on Nissa is pretty nice because they're down to 3 lands. I've killed a lot of lands at this point. So the Nissa is going to go away forever, and crucially, it puts the 6th card in my graveyard for Uro. Unfortunately, that turn I couldn't cast ECD because if I did, they just had too many lethal threats. They had 4 lethal threats. So I would die, exactly, if I just killed one of their planeswalkers rather than doing something that gained life. So they're going to -3 my whole board, and now I'm facing down 3 lethal threats again. But if I draw anything that cantrips, I can make token off Jolrael and then kill the Ugin. And now they're out of cards and down to 4 lands. I drew Shadow the Sky, which is pretty nice, and I have so much mana that I'm going to be able to wipe their whole board. I have nothing in my graveyard for ECD, but I'm not going to get greedy at this point. And I have a huge mana advantage of 13 lands to 2 at this point. And Teferi Master of Time is a really, really nice draw because one of the only ways they could get back into the game was with a haste creature like Questing Beast or Nissa. And it's going to start generating me tokens. I actually draw one of the best cards that I could, even though I'm discarding it because ECD will reanimate the Teferi next turn. So that's pretty nice. I'm going to have tokens flowing every turn, both Teferis in play, and they conceded from that point. So I was kind of in shock that I had won this game, so I thought it would be interesting to go over the replay with you.